All right, folks, so there's my data for the first table. How does your data look? Does it look good? Are we getting pretty quick at typing these in? Okay, so what's the first question I'm asking you on your notes? Okay, so does everybody see the decimal down here for the M and the B? Yes? How many decimals have I asked you for? 2. So this will be 5.95 because the 2 makes it stay a 5. Is that okay? Over here, this will be 50.17. Okay, so give me the equation. Y equals, what is it? Perfect. How's everybody doing here? Is everybody's numbers the same as my numbers on their screen? Wonderful. It says describe the relationship. Look at your data. What's the relationship? Positive, negative, or none? Positive. And describe for me what that means in this situation. Perfect. As years go by, the goals increase. Yep. Either years pass or years go by. Now I want you to make a prediction. It's 2012. What year did we start in this table? 2003. So how many years have gone by if I'm in 2012? From 2003 to 2012 is 9 years, so we're going to plug in a 9. So 5.95 times that 9 plus 50.17. And this is going to give you a decimal, but you cannot have a decimal of a goal. So you need to round appropriately. 103, you say? What's after the 3? Be 104. Approximately 104 goals in 2012. How we doing, guys? Okay, last but not least, I believe I left a blank for you for the correlation coefficient, didn't I? Okay, now remember, the correlation coefficient is that R down here. Does everybody see it? Okay, write your R on that blank. 0.8495. Which is right here. Does everybody see it? What percentage would that be equivalent to on a test? About 84, 85, yes? Would you like an 85 on a test? Yeah, be pretty good. Okay, so would you say it's really strong, or not so strong? Strong. This is a strong relationship. So folks, how do we feel about our prediction of 104? Is that a good prediction or a not so good prediction? It's a good one because we had a strong relationship. How's everybody doing here? A-okay? Great. We're skipping number 2 and we're going down to number 3. Which means I think we're going to the back. Okay, it says, determine if there is a positive, negative, or no correlation. If there is a relationship, describe it. Finally, write the equation for the line of best fit. So, positive, negative, or none, folks. This is negative. Somebody tell me what that means in this situation. Not years going by. As age increases, the price decreases. Good. As age increases, the price decreases. All right, well, now it says to write an equation for the line of best fit, and Desmos is going to do that for us, isn't it? But are you going to type in all of these little points here? Did I give you a nice data table? I did not, did I? So you need how many points? 2, and I believe I left you blanks down here to put your points in, didn't I? Okay, I want you to use that point right there and that point right there. So darken them in on your graph. And then I want for you to estimate for me what those ordered pairs would be. The one on the left, what would you estimate that point to be? Wonderful. Point on the right, what would you estimate that to be? 8, 2.5? How's everybody doing? Great. Delete the table that you have in your Desmos, your old table. Put in these 2 points. Get rid of that old table from the last question and put in these 2 points. It was 2, 9.5, and what was the other one? Thank you. How's everybody's data looking? Got it? Does everybody see their M and B down there? Yes? Okay, how many decimal points did I tell you I wanted? 2. So from that M and that B, what is the equation of the line of best fit? 8, 4? What's after the 3? Leave it as 3? That's okay. How we doing, guys? Did I ask you for a prediction here? I did not. Did I ask you about a correlation coefficient here? I did not. So we're done with this question, right? Okay, we're going to skip number 4, but in number 4, I got to tell you what points to use, don't I? So we're going to do that first. We ready? Okay, so I want you to use this really nice point. Which one is it here? This one right here. Everybody see it? And then this guy way over here. Everybody okay? Can you tell me what those points would be? 6, 2, which is super nice to look at. How about the other one? Perfect, 19, 10. And again, you're not going to do that now. You're going to do that later. Fair enough? And don't forget, you have to tell me the correlation for this one too, okay, and describe it. All right, let's move on. Let's go to number 5, please. Everybody see number 5? Okay, it says, determine the relationship between the diagonals PR and QS of rhombus PQRS. What is a rhombus? What kind of shape? It's almost like a diamond. You're right. So how many sides does it have? This is a slanted square. That's a rhombus. Have you seen one of those before? Yeah, it's kind of like a sideways diamond. And you guys know what diagonals are. We've talked about these in past lessons. Diagonals go across the figure. Is that okay? Now, I tell you that I want to look at diagonals PR and I want to look at diagonal QS. Does everybody see that in the question? Do you see how it asks for the relationship? I want to know if it's parallel or perpendicular. Well, folks, how do I know if something is parallel? They never cross each other. They never ever cross each other and they have the same slope, right? What if they're perpendicular? What does that mean? Opposite reciprocal, and they cross at what kind of angle? 90 degrees. Okay, so we have to calculate our slope here. That's what it boils down to. So what I need you to do is for P and R, I need you to label your points. X1, Y1, X2, Y, maybe Y2. It's not liking me over there. Okay, everybody good? You remember your formula? Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. So what is my Y2? Perfect. How about my X2 minus X1? So folks, what do I get in my numerator? What do I get in my denominator? And what does that reduce to? What is 4 over 6? 2/3. All right, so let's do our other diagonal and see what we come up with here. Now, the next one is QS. So I'm going to label it again, X1, Y1, and X2, Y2. Whenever you're ready, I need somebody to tell me what my Y2 minus Y1 is. Over -1. Oh, I don't think so. There we go, 1 minus -1. Is that okay, Tyler? All right, what do I get in my numerator, folks? -3 over 2. Perfect. So tell me, are they parallel? They don't have the same slopes, do they? Are they perpendicular? Because they have what? Opposite reciprocals. So these things would be perpendicular. How we doing there? The negative can go, remember that's what opposite means, right? One's positive, one's negative, so that's what I need. If this one is positive, then this one has to be negative. But that negative could go on the top, it could go on the bottom, or it could go way out front. It just can't go both places at once. Okay? Great question. How we doing, folks? Everybody's good? All right, so let's move along here. I'm going to skip number 6 because number 6 is the easiest on the whole packet today. Okay, but I do need you to read the directions, please, so you know what we're doing here. What do I want you to do for this next section? What form do you think that equation should be in? Awesome, which means what two pieces do I have to have? Got it. Perfect. So as you can see in number 6, I've already given you both of those, haven't I? That's why it's so easy. So let's move on to number 7, excuse me. What have they given me? My slope. Does everybody see this M right here? That is first piece that I need. Perfect. They didn't give me a B though, did they? But what is this 4 right here? And what's the -2? Yeah, this is that homework you just turned into me, Gage, right? Isn't this what you just did with Mr. Ryan? Perfect. So folks, what I need to do is I need to funnel all this stuff in, and then it's going to tell me what the B is. So what is the Y? What is the M? What is the X? And I do not know the B. That's what I'm trying to find, so I keep it plus B. So next we're going to multiply there. Distribute that 1/2 to that 4. Now I have to solve it. How do I isolate the B? Wonderful. So B is -4. Are you ready for an answer now? What is it? Perfect. Guys, how we doing? Pretty good? Okay, that means we're skipping the next one because the next one is the same way. Everybody all right? And we're going to number 9. My issue with number 9 is I didn't get anything from this problem. There's no slope, there's no y-intercept. Which one has to be calculated first? The slope. Folks, label your points. And I need to calculate the m. So what is your y2 minus the y1? Everybody following? How about x2 minus x1? So what's in my numerator? And the denominator? 3 over 3. What is 3 over 3? 1. Well, that's super nice. There's my m. Now I got to find the b, which means you got to pick a point to plug in. Do we want to use the first one or the second one? I would like the second one as well because there's no negative, so there's less room to mess up. Okay, so let's funnel it all down into y equals mx plus b. What is my y up there? Equals the m, which was times the x, and then we have the plus b. Folks, what is that 1 times 5? How do I solve this? And what do you get? How we doing here, guys? Can you handle this tomorrow on your test? I think so too. I think you're doing great. What is the final answer then? Do you need the 1 in there? You do not. You can just have a regular old x right there, and that would be fine. All right, should we stick with the theme and just go every other? Yep. All right, number 11. Oh boy, this time I have a point, and I want it to be parallel, don't I? You told me that parallel lines never touch. How do I ensure that happens? The same slope. Do I know the slope of that line over there? I do, because the y is by itself. Does everybody see that? If the y is not by itself, then I got some more work to do. But what is the slope because the y is by itself? Oh, right there, isn't it? Okay, well, now don't I have an x and y? So don't I just got to plug them in and find the b? Okay, so let's funnel it all in into slope-intercept form. What is your y? Equals the m times the x, -4, and I don't know the b. All right, folks, go for it. Solve it, please. Solve it and write a final answer. Multiply, then move it over, and you'll have your b. What'd you get for your b? Should be -7. We okay there? Final answer? Perfect. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I think I'm ready to skip the next two. Pretty good? Okay, we're going to go to number 14. Does everybody see 14? What's up with number 14? Okay, perpendicular means opposite reciprocal slopes, yes? Do I know the slope? I do not, because the y is not by itself, is it? How do I get the y by itself? So I now have 2y is equal to -x. Divide by 2. Folks, what's in front of the x right now? A -1, right? Does -1 divide by 2? No, so we're going to leave it as -1/2 x. So what is my slope? -1/2? So I need to do the opposite reciprocal of that. What's the opposite of -1/2? No. What's the opposite of -1/2? It's just 1/2, right? Now what's the reciprocal of 1/2? 2/1, which is just 2, isn't it? That's my m. And now I'm ready to plug it all in. What's the y? 0 from that point up there equals what's the m times the x? And now you're ready to solve for b. Go for it. Multiply, move it over, and you should have an answer. What'd you get for 2 times 3? Well, you got +6, and then you move it over and got -6, right? Yeah. Same thing. All right, so what's my answer? You guys are like little soldiers back there. You're reading it in unison. Yeah. Test tomorrow, right? All right, so now I just have one more section left, don't I? And these are the easy ones. Okay. I need you to write me an equation, and then I need you to make a prediction. So we're going to start with number 15, and then you're going to have 16 and 17. So here we go. Follow along with me. An icicle is 12 inches long and melts at a rate of 1/4 of an inch per hour h. I need an equation, folks. Well, it's probably got to be in y equals mx plus b, right? So I need an m and a b. Which one's my m? Which one's my b? Okay, I can't understand both of you guys talking at the same time. The b is 12 right here. That's my m, but it's melting, isn't it? So that 1/4 should be negative. Everybody good with that? Now, I'm not using x and y because they told me to use h and y. So can somebody write me the equation using h and y? No. H is for hours, right? You see how this says per hour? So that h has got to go with the 1/4. Folks, how we doing with that equation? You're going to be asked to write things like that tomorrow. Good? Now I got to make a prediction. After 90 minutes, what are you going to do with that 90 minutes? The first thing I need to do is make it into hours. Do you see how everything's in hours? So how many hours is 90 minutes? 1.5. Perfect. So I'm going to plug in 1.5. So after an hour and a half, how long would that icicle be? It's got to be less than 12, doesn't it? Because it started out at 12. It should be a decimal. Just give me what you got. It's not a bad decimal, is it? Perfect. And this is in inches. If you want to round it to 2 decimal places just to be consistent with what we're doing with Desmos, that's fine. Okay? And then you're being asked to do the same thing in numbers 16 and 17. All right, so the remaining 15 minutes of class here are yours to work on more of this review. Now, folks, your test is tomorrow. I will not be collecting this review, but it will be your binder check for Friday. So either way, it's got to be done. Good? Okay, have at it.